Chapter 3. The Recovery. A broken bone heals in a day. A broken heart is here to stay. Spike's eyes slowly peeked open. His sight was fuzzy and shaking, but he could still make out the tiny splashes the rain made in the puddles. He glanced around him. The trees seemed to move around him. No, he was moving. But how? He couldn't feel his legs as they dragged slowly through the mud. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. An upset voice said behind him. Spike mustered up what little energy he had left. Rarity was had one of Spike's massive arms wrapped around her shoulders. Her heart was glowing a powerful blue, trying to support the heavy dragon. Trying? This girl can let the rock if she wants to! She gasped, Spiky! It's okay. I'm getting you to the hospital. Everything will be just... Ah! Rarity dropped Spike as they both fell into the mud. The dragon was just too heavy to carry her by herself. Telekinesis? It shouldn't be that hard. Spike rolled into the side to get a look at Rarity. Almost every inch of her cloud-like coat was soaked in either mud or blood. Her one eye was completely swollen shut in a deep purple. Her beautiful violet mane was glued to her face and neck with rainwater and mud. The mare kneeled by the fallen dragon, tears rolling down her mud-stained cheeks. She dug her face into Spike's chest, ignoring the blood gushing out of it. I'm so sorry, Spike, she said between teary breaths. I just can't do it, she cried. I'm just not strong enough. Spike rose a shaky claw and slowly stroked Rarity's mane. Even in the rain and mud, her hair was as soft as silk. He was going to die, like he was going to die next to the one he loved. I'm sorry. Spike, she whimpered. I see rainbow, he groaned. You see a rainbow? She asked, still staring at the dying dragon. Spike's head started to feel light. Not a rainbow, he said weakly, starting to fade again. Rainbow, he said before blacking out again. Rainbow? Rarity asked, trying to get an answer out of the unconscious Spike when she finally realized. Rainbow. She looked up to the sky, and sure enough there was a sighing Pegasus lying lazily on a cloud. Rainbow! She screamed. The rainbow-maned Pegasus rolled into slumber, cursing under her breath. Trying to sleep here! She called, unaware of her friend's predicament. Rainbow, Spike is hurt! The frustrated unicorn yelled. Rainbow shot up for the cloud. What? She looked down at the bleeding dragon and felt him here. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. She panicked, quickly flying to the ground. We gotta get him to the hospital. He grabbed Spike's left arm and wrapped it around her neck, Rarity doing the same with the right. The two ponies ran towards the hospital, praying they weren't too late. The doors of the hospital burst open as two ponies dragged the dragon inside. From there on, everything moved in a blur. The nurses and doctors quickly got Spike on a stretcher and ran him to the critical injuries ward. Rarity followed, never leaving his side. Spike was alert Twilight was almost alert immediately afterwards, as he teleported there instantaneously, tears rolling down her cheeks. Word spread quickly across town, alerting all of Spike's friends and everyone he cared about. Soon, every pony in Ponyville knew what Spike had done, and that he saved Rarity's life. It had been 5 days since the incident. Spike had slipped into a coma and had yet to awake from it. Every day, the situation looked more and more dire. He's been like this for 5 days now, Twilight screamed to the nurse. You're a doctor, fix him! Please, Miss Sparkle. Nurse read out in a calm, controlled voice. I need you to calm down. We are doing everything we can, but he sustained multiple injuries. They turned their attention to Spike. He was hooked up to many different types of medical machines, of flashing lights and IV tubes. A dragon had a large bandage wrapped around his stomach area where he was cut by a diamond dog. His red claw was wrapped up where the leader had bit him. His face had healed up quite nicely, except for the deep red scar that ran down his right eye. Because, of course, can't be the brooding badass unless you get some facial damage. Reinhardt looked back at Twilight. You see, Miss Sparkle, he's lucky to even be alive. It was quickly to treat the broken ribs, the eternal bleeding, and torn ligaments. But the dog that attacked him struck his underbelly, the Achilles heel of dragons. Wait, does that mean all dragons are turtles? She looked over her notes again. Based on the amount of blood the white mare and the little pulse, he must have lost half his blood. It was appalling these injuries would have killed him. Twilight was crying again, still angry, and only getting madder by the lack of answers. So, I don't care. Just help him. Miss Sparkle, please calm down. Nurse's calmness was strangely eerie. No, it's typical. We nurses need to be, calm in this type of situation so as not to, get the patient's family enraged. Sorry, we do that. We've done all we could. We even called in dragon experts from the university. But by Spike's age, most dragons have begun to hoard, and few are willing to volunteer for medical experiments. So you looked at the teary purple unicorn and sighed. I'm sorry, Miss Sparkle, but we just can't treat him anymore. His body could have a negative reaction to the treatment. We just have to hope his own body can recover. And you people wonder why I'll need the amulet dragon companionship. But oh no! One of my vestiges could be horrible to be abused by evil people. It's demonized. Twilight started to calm down. She knew she wasn't mad at the doctor, but rather the fact that Spike was like this. Thank you, she said as the nurse left the room. Spike looked over to the hospital. Twilight looked over to the hospital bed, the mare leaning over it. Rarity was beside Spike, her eyes full of sadness and regret. She had not once left the dragon's side, not for food, sleep, or even to bathe, as she was still covered in dried mud and blood. She could hear every word as he lay next to Spike, waiting for him to wake up. Hey, wait a minute! Not even to bathe, as he was still covered in dried mud and blood. No! If I may take over my mom's career for a bit. See, apparently was badly injured, almost right, and had a swollen eye. Do you know what would actually be happening? She would be washed up, she would be taken care of, she would have her eye looked at, and maybe even given a rape kit. There's no way she would still be covered in dry mud and blood for the past few days ago. I'm sorry, fanfic. I know you're trying to be all dramatic, but no, it does not work that way. Medicine does not work that way. If they allowed her to still have all that dry mud and blood on her, they are some crappy nurses. Thank you very much. Oh my god. It finally happened. It finally happened. Mother, I became you. It finally happened, folks. It's all my fault, she moaned, as he once again shed tears for the dragon she had loved. She looked over the scar on his right eye. It reminded her of all the pain she had caused him, even though it was unintentional. But like his scar, this could never be undone. She brushed her hoof over the good side of his face. I should have told you I loved you, and now it's too late. Rarity wiped away her tears as Twilight went up beside her. Twilight tried to keep calm as he spoke to Rarity. How is he, Rarity? She asked. The white mare looked terrible. Her white coat covered in a mess of dark and brown. Her purple mane and tail had dried to her body and had dirty branches stuck in it. Her face was the worst. Though her eye had healed up, no help thanks to apparently the doctors. Her mascara had run down her face from all her crying, and her eyes were stained and bloodshot for 5 days without sleep. I didn't know. He's just been asleep for so long, she said. Twilight put her on her friend's shoulder. I'm worried too. A tear started forming in her eye. We just have to hope he can pull through. She took a look around. Hey, where's Rainbow? I thought she was visiting again today. The doctors had to remove her again. She destroyed another hospital room. She gave a little, truly unletting knock. Twilight smiled. At least Rarity wasn't mourning as bad. So they locked her up? The door burst open and her cyan pony crashed in the room. Liz locked up, she said, walking up to Twilight and Rarity. Did he let you out? She asked, puzzled because the Pegasus looked quite angry. Yeah, they gave you a copy of the newest Dairy Do book to calm me down, she said, letting a large brown book fall from her wing. She looked at Spike. Those damn dogs were lucky I wasn't there. I would have shown them a thing or two. Although, Rarity, why didn't you? Oh, it's the dreaded damsel disease. You know how it happens in these fics that are centered around a female character. When we need to have a romance between me and a male companion, I have to lose my competence for about 5 minutes. Even Kigali suffered that, and that was canon. Twilight nodded in response. She hasn't left since we brought him here. She put a friendly hoof on her shoulder. I'm so thankful you were close by, Rarity. Rarity just stood there, head on the edge of Spike's bed, crying as quietly as she could. It's all my fault, she whispered. What? No, it's not, said Rainbow Dash. Rarity lifted and turned her head towards the ponies. Her eyes were bloodshot, the redness of her retina merging with the blueness of her iris. How's it not my fault? I'm the one who drives him diamond hunting. I'm the one who he tried to protect. I'm the one who could never show him the love he deserved. Be grateful for that, Rarity, because if you did, I would have to start making phone calls. Rarity, calm down. Don't tell me to be calm, Twilight, she yelled, slamming her hook down on Spike's stomach wound. Spike's eyes slowly peeked open. His head was pounding, his body felt weak. How long was he out? Where was he? Was that Rarity? I don't know why he does it. He just has to be such a beast around me, cried Rarity. What was that? She thought he was a beast? No, maybe you should pay attention more, Spiky. You are an adult. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened. Was it his fault all this danger fault him? Sometimes I think we should have just let him grow up and be a dragon. Well, you are letting him be a teen, and Spike, I don't really think it's your fault all this danger followed him. I mean, this is like the first evidence on screen, for one, and two, why don't you think Rarity would be facing this type of danger anyway? I mean, she would have been out there without you. Either way, this doesn't change a thing. You're not the only person in charge here, Spike. This is not just you. Running out the door of the room, Twilight and Rainbow quickly followed her. He was alone. I mean, if this was Sasuke saying it, sure, I would be okay, but seriously, Spike. His heart began to sink. He had just heard when he prayed he would never hear. Rarity thought he was a monster. He groaned a little, barely audible as the depression washed over him, falling back into sleep. Outside the room, Twilight and Rainbow were trying to comfort the upset Rarity. Rarity, are you okay? Asked Twilight. I haven't eaten a set in 5 days, and I'm realizing I'm the only one I'll ever love might die. I just wish I had never met him. No, I'm not all right, she screamed, her angry bloodshot eyes filling with salty tears. I just want my Spike back. She collapsed on the ground. The two ponies looked at the mirror. Is she all right? Asked Rainbow. They heard the soft purr of the breathing being emitted from the bloody pony. She's okay, just sleeping, smiled Twilight. She magically go to the sleeping pony and reopened the room's door, placing the sleeping mare next to the sleeping dragon. Almost instinctively, Rarity rolled over to her side, sliding a hoof across Mike's muscular chest as he snuggled close to her dragon. The doors opened again. A familiar orange pony entered the room. Howdy, y'all, she said sincerely. How's the big guy doing? Don't know, but at least Rarity's sleeping, said Twilight. Well, that's good, I reckon, she said, reaching into her saddlebag. I know that the Dr. Fruit is rather nasty, so I brought you one Granny Smith's world famous apple pies. She pulled out a large warm pie out of her bag. Thank you, A.T. I'm certain to love it when they wake up, Twilight said. Where's Squareside and Pinky? They went to Sakura's. Said something about getting some sort of natural painkiller or something. Ooh, morphine. Oh, yeah. I was looked into the two in the bed. More things. She sighed. She heard Twilight give a little sniffle. Hey there, Syracuse. You'll be alright. That dragon got a lot of fire him. She leaned closer to Twilight. Hey, Twilight, does Rarity know she's still covered in blood? What type of doctors will be allowing that? Shh! We don't ask that type of question around here. Applejack, I don't think she cares right now. She hasn't been home since we got here. She's been having me check up on Sweetie Belle, and she's staying at the library with me. Slowly, Spike started to open again. He wanted to keep them close, never to awaken again. He heard more voices. Most of them were faded, but was able to make out who was in the room. He took a big breath and felt a new weight on his chest. A hoof. He glanced over to see if old Pony's Rarity. She was cuddled up next to him, fast asleep. Even though he now knew she didn't love him the way he did, it was still nice to be this close to her. As Spike tried to sit up, he heard the waves of gas as every pony rushed over to his side. Twilight was hysterical with her happiness, lunching on top of the dragon and giving him a loving hug. Spike! Oh, Celestia, you're okay, she cried into the dragon's neck. Nice to see you too, Twilight, the dragon said weakly. Could you maybe get off me? You're kind of leaning on my stomach. Oops, sorry, she said quickly, getting off of Spike. Spike looked around him, seeing all his close friends around him. It gave him a good warm feeling to get inside, to know that so many ponies cared about him, even if the one he really cared for didn't. Spike decided to get him caught up with what happened during the 5 days he was out. How he almost died, how Rarity and Rainbow carried him all the way to the hospital, how he was in a coma for 5 days, and how Rarity never left his side. The last one made him think, why would Rarity stay by his side the whole time? He quickly abandoned his thought. Oh! Bad move, Spike. You were this close to having an intelligent thought. So he probably just felt bad or something. So RT saved my life, I guess. I owe you one. Don't sweat, Spike. Just doing what any pony would do, Rainbow said proudly. The doctor opened wide as a white nurse pony entered the room. I'm sorry, but visiting hours are now over, and we need to run some more tests. The ponies obeyed the nurse, walking out of the room. She noticed the white mare and now awake dragon. Oh, Spike. Nice to see you're awake, but your friend will have to leave. She's asleep, nurse, instructor man again. Can't you just let her stay? Oh, sure. It'll be nice for her to stay, to see me unwrap your bandages, to probably inspect to see how the wound's closing, and also to look at all the various blood and other bits of gore that I'm going to have to examine you while you're here. Well, I see you're allowed to stay. I mean, as long as she's got a strong stomach. I'll take it on. I think I'm leaving now. The doctor sighed. I guess the tests aren't that extreme. I just need to take a blood sample. Spike gave a little chuckle. That's it? Just a blood test? Yes. And I was hoping for a sponge bath, the dragon said, giving the nurse a wicked grin. Who do you think cleaned you up? She responded. Oh, and before you have any naughty thoughts, Spike, I want to let you know that cleaning you up involved cleaning the dried urine and the smegma from your cock, because when you're in a coma, your bodily functions had to be taken care of by machines. Which also meant that while I was cleaning you, I was also cleaning up your ass. Do you think cleaning up your dragon shit was that healthy? Or that fun? Or that sexy? Because it wasn't. I had to touch you with gloves. Rubber. Touchless gloves. And that's not even going into all the bacteria I had to clean from your ball sack, your scrotum, and everything else about your body. Would you also like to know all the gore I had to give a sponge bath around that wound? Because I had to clean up the dry blood along with it. That's also making sure that your shirts are stayed straight, which, of course, I had to make sure those weren't infected, but hey! Cleaning you up was very, very, very healthy. Bringer. Yeah? I think you just ruined the fantasy for so many ponies listening to this. You're right, Trixie, I probably did. I'm sorry, but as a CNA, sponge baths have stopped being sexy for me since I started working. Nurse Redheart proceeded with the blood test. Taking a large needle, carefully injected one of the loose scales of his arms. That's it, do it. I'll be back in a bit. If the blood is clean, you can leave today, she said as he headed out the door. Helm! The blood needs to be tested for other things, sweetheart. Almost an instant later, a pink flash of pinkness soon in the room. Hey, Spike, you're awake! That's so cool. Sorry we didn't visit earlier. We just had to go grab a poster for Sakura and we had to get a raining contest because he wanted to rise all the time. And then we came back before I got scared and I sang a song I wasn't certain about. Anyways, are you feeling better? Are you? Here said Pink Pony saw with a barrage of words. Nice to see you too, Pinky. Sir Cube, take a breath. You're going to turn wild again, said Applejack as she, Twilight, Rainbow, and Fluttershy entered the room. Oh, Spike is so happy Spike's awake now, she beamed. Fluttershy soft to him finally spoke. Oh, so happy for him. Me too! That's Spike. I gotta go. What? Asked the now annoying Rainbow. You just got here, now you're leaving. Well, duh, now I need to plan Spike's getting better party. See what saying, hopping out the door. See ya! I guess we should all head back home, said Applejack. I don't want to work to do today. Soon every pony was saying their goodbyes and leaving the room. Nurse Redheart watched by Fluttershy as she left the room. Spike, I have good news. The blood samples we took show no signs of contamination, and since you're awake again, you can leave whenever you like. Thanks, he said, slowly getting up from the bed, being extra careful not to disturb Rarity. Just try not to overwork yourself, the nurse said. The dragon smiled. Hey, if I get hurt again, I can get an excuse for another sponge bath. Oh yes, I look forward to cleaning the pus, the plasma, the dry blood, and making sure that those sutures are completely unaffected. Would you like to know more about your bodily functions that I would have to clean up during susten? Because those are real fun. And with that, Spike ran out the room. Spike got up and out of the bed. There was still a large pain in his stomach, but nothing he couldn't handle. He looked at the sleeping beauty laying on the bed. He felt a rush in his gut, overpowered by the sick emotions of sadness and depression. Rarity, I love you. I wish you could feel the same for me. He picked up the mare in his arms, cradling her like a newborn foal. She was light as a feather, and just as beautiful, and it sick of him that he could never leave her. He quietly walked out of the hospital. It was very late. The sun had gone down, and Luna had already risen the moon. Rarity opened her eyes slightly as he felt her body move, as she was floating. She looked to see Spike's masculine face looking forward. Her heart was warmed as she was held by her one true love. She smiled as she let her exhausted body fall back to sleep, comforted by Spike's warm body and a steady heartbeat. A heartbeat that belonged to her. As Spike entered the boutique, he noticed how little had changed as he last saw it. The fragrance of the mare still clung to the room, a spell Spike had quickly come to admire as he visited Rarity. Spike could not help but notice another smell. It was a stronger, fresher one. What's that one? He thought as he sniffed the air. The smell was coming from upstairs. He slowly made his way up the stairs with his precious cargo. Suddenly he felt his foot slip and almost lost balance. He quickly extended his heel to push up to the floor and regained balance. He looked down to see a perfume bottle laying on the stairs. Opal, he muttered. The cat was only playing things that didn't belong to her. He ignored it as he continued up the stairs. As Spike entered Rarity's room, he gave a quick look around. He noticed all the cloth rolls and strings of fabric and jewels hanging over the place. Organized chaos is still chaos. He chuckled as he went over to Rarity's bed. He slowly placed some hair down and was careful not to wake her. Spike took a seat beside the sleeping pony as his heart began to torment with feelings of regret. Regret what he told himself about Rarity. Regret about what he had heard her say. He felt his eyes grow watery. Something hadn't occurred when he was young. He turned to face her. She was so beautiful sleeping on the bed. Rarity, I would do so much for you. He tried his best to push back the tears. He never wanted to cry. I would do so much for you if only I could tell you how I feel. Spike, I think every pony knows this! Except for Pinkie Pie, but I think she's just playing along. Whoop! Yeah, I mean, where's the fun thing I do? Whoop! Why does it even matter if I love you? You don't feel the same way. He looked over to one of Rarity's mirror and see his reflection. For once, he didn't see the handsome and attractive Spike he always saw in the mirror. He saw what he really was. A dragon. A monster. A beast. Roar! You think I'm just a beast, and you're right. I'm not a pony and I can never be the stallion you deserve. You have your dream cult that I can never be. It was getting harder to fight back at the tears. I should just leave you alone. Go grow up and be a dragon. But I can't. I guess I'm too selfish, too greedy. You are so beautiful. The thought of ever leaving you, a life without you, just seems unbearable. He couldn't help himself. Shiny tears rolled down his face as he clenched his eyes shut. My shiny tears and me! Shiny tears, shiny tears! The few tears that squeezed through his eyes fell down his face, and he caught them in his hands. Slowly the tears began to harden, liquid freezing his hands. Wait, what? Dragon tears. I'll be right back. Yeah, I can confirm. This is one of the more stupider emo things I've seen in my life! He muttered to himself. He looked at his crystallized tears. Rarity had always wanted some of these, but dragons weren't known to cry often. Oh, give me a break! I give you these, in my heart as well, but all you want is friendship. Just friendship. He stopped crying. But they're gonna see Spike cry a couple of times. Why would they just now? Never mind. Guess I could do that. If it means you'll be happy, then I'm glad to suffer. You know, him being okay with just being friends with Rarity, actually makes him better than every single Mike and protag in existence. He wiped out the last of his crystal tears as he finished his little speech. He rose from the bed and took one last fork of Rarity. She was still covered in blood and her hair was a mess. Yes, she still looked like an angel to him. He leaned in on the mare and placed a gentle kiss on her cheek. Her coat was like a salt like clouds, he never wanted to blow away. But he did. With a heavy heart, Spike slowly closed the door to Rarity's room. He started to slow his descent down the stairs, his soul damaged, mind weary. Suddenly he heard a rattle in the kitchen. He quickly extended his claws in case of trouble. He slowly approached the door. There was definitely somebody in the room. He took a breath and started to the room. "Hey, Spike!" Sweetie Belle said, looking at his dog look at Spike's face. "Nice to see you feeling better." Sweetie Belle, bedazzled Jackson asked, looking at his love's little sister. She had grown a lot in the last 10 years, much like Spike had. Her body had come in nicely, and her mane had grown out, with similar rarities, but shorter and curlier. "Hello to you, too," she said sarcastically, taking her by a levitating apple. "What are you doing here? Twilight said you were staying with her," he said. "I was, but I came back to feed the cat and escape Twilight. You know she had me do all your chores while you were out," she told him. Spike couldn't help but smile, thinking of the young unicorn performing his long list of chores while tolerating Twilight's controlling personality. "Yeah, she could be a handful," said Spike. Sweetie Belle walked behind him and helped him on a chair to be on eye level with the massive dragon. As he walked past him, he couldn't help but sniff a strong scent of perfume in the air. Sweetie Belle noticed the dragon sniffed in the air. "It was Opal. She spilled the perfume." "I see," Spike said. "So how's school treating you?" She tried. "Can't complain. It's hard work, but I'm really making a lot of projects in my Gizzy class." She started to get excited. "And I heard the Sapphire Source is looking for backup singers. So I really hope I can get the part." Actually, what's going to happen is Sweetie Belle will start working for a Chinese food place. Then she'll meet up with a brave pilot. Then she'll attend a concert by a famous singer. Then get wrapped up in some really awesome political drama, plus some really good dramatics. Well, she tries to enhance her career. All the while, will you not spoil the plot of Frontier? Some people haven't seen that yet. I'm sorry. By the way, go watch Back Cross Frontier. Don't worry about it. I was there when you got your cutie mark. You'll be fine. Wait, does this mean that Spike is still technically 15 or 18? A large music note surrounded by a big silver star imprinted on it. Well, I should probably keep going. If Twilight finds out I left the hospital without telling her, she'll kill me. Spike started to head out the door. He was about to head out when he felt a hoof on his shoulder. Turned around to see Sweetie looking straight at him, face dead serious. "She loves you back, you know," she said. "What?" "Rarity, she loves you, Spike," she repeated. His heart stopped, contemplating what sort of sick game Sweetie was playing on. "I have no idea what you're talking about," he lied. "No, Spike, it's true. You never looked your side, not even for a second, when you were at the hospital. I used to assume whenever she got ready for you to come over. She said it was to be ladylike, but I knew she was lying. She never freaked out like that for anyone but you, even when she had a date to get ready for." Spike looked at Sweetie's eyes. "Sweetie, look at me and tell me what you see." "I see the dragon and my sister." "Exactly!" "I just added the love part, you dork!" "I'm a dragon." "Oh, God. A big, ruthless killer that has no right to be with someone like Rarity." Yeah. No, just keep going. I'm going to go get myself a pint. "Ah, a pint of Dr. Pepper." "I can see you have every right to be with her," screamed Sweetie back down. "She loves you, Spike. She was just too scared to ask you. You're always out with other ponies or dragons." "Oh my God, Spike, you didn't even wait for her? You were just like, oh, well, I'm a teenager now, might as well just keep going. Do you really think that would have told Rarity that you loved her, being with every single mare on the planet?" "And scared to ask you, yeah, I have a feeling she was also scared of the police when they came busting at her door. FBI, open up!" "Get that through your thick skull." "I'm a dragon. I heard her call me a beast. She was silent a long time ago. And that's not enough proof for you, then you could just go to hell." The dragon pushed away from Sweetie Belle, left the house, and took off, disappearing into the night sky. Sweetie turned around and headed upstairs. Fine, Spike! Believe what you want! She headed to her room next to Rarity's, but stopped when she heard quiet sobbing. She slowly peeked into the room. Rarity was sitting up on her bed, crying her hopes. Sweetie! She cried, a guilty look on her face. How much did you hear? Sweetie asked. What did he get insulted? Let's see. Did you really say those things about Spike? Rarity tried to speak, but her voice started to break up. She tilted and hugged her sister. I screwed up Sweetie Bet. I said some things I shouldn't have, and he must have heard them. I should have told him how I felt. Yeah, even Big Mac didn't take this long to tell Charlie. Woo! Cheer back for the win! I just feel so horrible. Oh, Spike, his heart must be tormenting him, Rarity cried. So he pulled her sister away from her. Not too late. Pinky's throwing Spike a party for his recovering and sipping rain when he gets there. A new light lit in Rarity, her eyes filled with life instead of dread. Of course! Come on, Sleepy Bell, let's go! Rarity was about to leave the room when Sleepy Bell tugged her arm. Maybe you want to clean up first? Rarity looked down at herself, completely forgot she was still 50. Oh, yes, of course. That's the bath. Then we go get Spike and tell him how I really feel.